So for question 1, state the scale factor that as a percentage. So in this case, you don't even need to find it, right? Like they're already giving you that. So you just go ahead and write down that the scale factor is 3/2. And when we're stating it in a different format, right, just go comma, right? And you just go 3 divided by 2 times 100. So that's 150%. So we go by what's on the screen. Okay, so don't round too early. In this case, it works out just fine. And then question 2, I'll do it right next to it. Calculate the new length. Now what's happening here, right? You're given a shape and a new one is created. So I would automatically suggest work with original and new, that terminology. Okay, so scale, the new length, so we'll just use that scale factor. Scale factor is equal to length of new over length of the original, which is 15 centimeters. And they're not asking us to state it in meters or anything. You just go ahead and cross multiply and divide. So it's just 15 times 3 divided by 2. That's what, 45 divided by 2? 22.5 centimeters. There you go. That's it. Always going back to this. This is like your classic. Some of you on the quiz are flipping it, right? You're putting the original and the new, right? It's wrong, right? So you got to make sure it's new over original. Same thing if it's k squared, it's area of new original. You can replace new with diagram and this with actual, like when it's a picture or something like that. Number 3, what does it say? Calculate the new width. It's basically copy paste. I'm going to start with my scale factor. I'm leaving it as a fraction. And then I will go width of new over the width of the original, which is 2 centimeters. So you cross multiply and divide. That's 2 times 3. Make sure you show your work, which I must say most of you were doing just fine. So it's 3 centimeters is the new one, the new width, right? So we clearly indicate that that's our answer. And 4, how much greater will the new area be? And this is a concept, right? The area will be affected by, right? Area will be affected by k squared. Remember, areas are related by a factor of k squared, not just k. So you take 3/2, you square it, and it's 9/4. Or if you want to just go 9 divided by 4, right? Like that, it's 2.25. Either one works. Either one will work there. And let's say you still didn't get it, right? It's like, no, right? You could find the area of the original, which is 2 times 15. That's 30 centimeters squared, right? So you go area of new, area of original. I need some help here. So 3. Just want to make sure I don't mess up on live television, right? So these are the two areas, right? If I just go length times width of the new, length times width, and so let's go divide them, you still get 2.25, right? That's what they have been affected by, k squared, okay? And 5, this is the controversial one. Why are we talking volume here? Volume will be affected by k cubed, right? So you take the original, the scale factor, and we will cube it. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, right? Or simply go 27 divided by 8, that's 3.375. And And let's say you still, like, you don't want to even state it as a fraction, then just go ahead and go 3 divided by 5. 3 divided by 5. And then you go ahead and cube it, which is the hat with a little 3. Wait a minute, something went wrong there. Oh, sorry, it's 3 divided by 2, sorry. 3 divided by 2, and then cube that, and you get 3.375 as well. It's hard to see on that screen, right? There it is. Okay, moving on, so I'm going to kind of make a line there. That was basically 1 to 5 was related to that. And I will fold this and start over. Okay, so question 6. 500 kilometers is represented by 2.5 centimeters on the map. So let me show you a little, everything is connected in this unit, believe it or not. So we always go diagram and actual. When it's a map, that's what I would suggest you use, right? So let's just first start with a scale. That was like the first thing we did. So 2.5 centimeters represent 500 kilometers on the actual landscape. Scale used on the map. Oh, I just answered it. So let's do this again. And so it's 2.5 centimeters to 500 kilometers. But I think I recalled saying I don't want decimals, right? So multiply both of them by 10. And so, you know what? I think this is the best way to do it, but this would for sure score partial marks already because you put them in the right place, right? So either one of them for today, I will say you're on the right track. Let's keep going. 7. This is where you need to pay attention. If 2 towns on the map measure 8.1 centimeters apart, calculate the actual distance. A lot of you want to go ahead and convert right away. Oh, I like them both in the same unit. You only do that if you want the scale factor, right? Because if you don't want the scale factor, there's no need to do that. In this case, it's actually easier to just leave them like that. In fact, you can go back to this one. So I will go 7, answered right there. I will say 2.5 centimeters represent 500 kilometers, right? And they will give you one of them. In this case, they give you the map, because remember, it's always diagram over actual, right? That is still always to be kept, right? So, and we're not saying that this is a scale factor. We're just kind of setting it up like that and leaving it because that's not the ultimate question here. So 8.1 centimeters go here. So this would be the actual distance, right? So you cross multiply and divide like that. So I'm actually using actual here. You multiply that out. And I'm going to look at my key here to save some time. That's 1,620 kilometers. Why kilometers, Mr. Dirksen? Because, right, I matched my centimeters, and since there's a kilometer here, my answer will be in kilometers also. Okay. So no need to convert in that case. Now, question 8. 2 towns are 360 kilometers apart. What's the distance on the map? I start the same way. Right? And in this case, they give me the actual distance apart. And so this is going to be my x, and I know that it's going to be in centimeters. Okay. I match kilometers. What cannot happen is if they had given you the actual distance in centimeters, you can't leave this like that. Because then you're matching kilometers with centimeters. You can't have that, right? But because the units are the same, I'm leaving it, and I'm expecting my answer on top to be in centimeters. So you cross multiply and divide there. Divided by 500. And That is 1.8 centimeters. All right, so that's my answer there. There's my answer there. So there's 8 done. Okay, and I'm going to flip to the other side because I'm starting a new section. Question 9. We'll go back and talk about marks in a bit. Okay. 9. True or false? An object was enlarged with a scale factor of 3. So when they say triple or double, right? In this case, I tell you that it's the scale. But if it's triple, assume that it's times 3, right? This object's area would be 6 times greater than the original. And the answer is false. It would be K. We're talking area. It'd be K squared times greater. Okay, so 3 squared is 9 times. And then 10, true or false, an object was reduced by a scale factor of 3/4. So they give you the actual scale factor. We expect a reduction. The volume would be 9/16 times smaller than the original. And this is also false. It would be K cubed times smaller. We know it's a reduction. Okay, so 3/4 cubed is 27/64. Okay, it's 27/64 times smaller. If you like decimals, right, no big deal. You just go ahead and do this, right? 0.42 times smaller or something like that. Or if you want percent, you multiply that by 100, 42.18, right? Or 42.19% smaller. That's also okay to do that. Now these are the ones I really want you to get. So if you're falling asleep, pay attention. 11. I'm going to talk marks in a bit, okay? If the original shape has an area of 43 centimeters squared, the new shape is 688 centimeters squared, not scared. We're not scared, are we? Then what's the scale factor? Okay, I start with this, that the scale factor is area of new, area of original, right? I would like you to start with that. And in this case, they give you both of these, okay? So K squared is, get this right, 688 over 43. And both of them are centimeters squared, which is great. Those just go. So to take the scale factor, you need to square root, in this case, the whole thing. You got to make sure that's in brackets or else you get the wrong answer. It'd be a shame to get it wrong when you get that far. Okay, so you go second x2, right? Second x squared here, and then you just go 688 divided by 43, close brackets, and it's exactly 4. Okay, so that's your scale factor. You're done. Let's talk marks here, and then I'll go backwards later. If you have this or some sort of work where you set it up and you have the K squared, you would get 1 mark. But to actually get the full 2 marks, you would have to end up with a 4 here based on the work you've done. So question 11 is out of 2. We're going to go back later for the other ones. I just really wanted to get to this part. So question 11, put something out of 2 there for yourselves, right? So you're on the right track. Question 12. If the original volume is 2,700 meter cubed, volume of the new is 100, what's the scale factor? So here, right, you should start with this. And then K cubed is 100 meters cubed over 2,700 meters cubed. Perfect, the units cancel out. Now you need to take the cube root of that. Okay, and we'll figure that out. So how do you get cube root again? Math, right? Fourth option. And then you just go 100 divided by 20. Almost. So it's 0.33. Right? Don't do the bar thing. Just round it to 2 decimals, right? Or if you want to multiply that by 100, it's okay to state it like this. Okay, but don't say it's just 33%. It's 33.33%. So you always go back to your calculator to state the next one. So again, this setup, you get 1 mark, and for your final answer, you get another mark there. So question 12 is out of 2. And the last one, state K that would result in a reduction. This one is easy, so you pick. You can go 0.75, you can go 5/8, anything that's less than 1 will do. You can go 85% because it's less than 100%, right? So anything less than 1 will do. 1 mark there, that's a freebie if you were paying attention. So let's find our way back up to get the total marks right. So let's go to question 10. It was just true and false, technically. So if you get this part, you get 1 mark for 10. So if you get that part, you get 1 mark for question 9. I didn't ask for explanation. I'm just doing that because I want you to understand. Let's go to question 8. Question 8 is just worth 1. Question 7 is worth 1. Question 6 is worth 1 as well. You give yourselves half a mark if you have a decimal in there, okay? But question 6 is just worth 1. Question 5, that won't be 1 as well. Question 4, that would be 1 as well. Question 3, just 1. Question 2, just 1. And question 1, 1 as well. So basically everything is worth 1 except for questions 11 and 12. Okay, so this is out of 15 total. So somewhere at the top, right, you put a mark down out of 15. If you want me to check one in particular, you make a note of it at the top. Make sure your name and initial of last name is on there. Let's do this. You give me the loose leaf. You keep the paper copy, right, with the questions on the house, right? If you want to do that, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to post this video, so if you want to